Can I tell you something a little embarrassing? When I first started seriously learning English, I had a routine. Every evening I sat at my desk, opened my textbook, and studied for exactly 1 hour. Grammar exercises, vocabulary lists, reading comprehension. 1 hour. Every night. For months. And at the end of those months, you know what happened when a native speaker talked to me? Blank. Complete blank. It wasn't that I hadn't worked hard. I had. I was working very hard. But I was training for the wrong thing. I was training to pass a test, not to actually speak. That experience taught me something I want to share with you today. Fluency doesn't live in your textbook. It lives in your daily life. It lives in the small moments, the quiet minutes, the everyday habits that most people completely overlook. And that is exactly what today's lesson is about. By the end of this, you will have a clear picture of how to weave English into your real life. Not your ideal life. Not the life where you have 2 free hours every evening. Your actual life. The busy one. The tired one. The real one. And here is something I want you to do throughout this whole lesson. Every time I give you an example sentence, say it out loud after me. Don't just listen. Repeat. This is called shadowing, and it is one of the most powerful tools you will ever use for your English. I'll say a sentence. You copy it. The rhythm, the tone, the feeling of it in your mouth. This lesson is not just something to hear. It is something to practice. Right now. With me. Are you ready? Let's go. I want to start with something that might surprise you. The learners I have seen improve the fastest are almost never the ones who study the most. Let me say that again because it matters. The learners who improve the fastest are almost never the ones who study the most. They are the ones who practice the most consistently. There is a big difference between studying and practicing. Studying is sitting down with a book or an app and going through lessons. Practicing is using English. Speaking it, hearing it, thinking in it, living in it. Both matter. But if you only study and never practice in real life, you are building a car that looks perfect in the garage but has never been driven on the road. You need the road. And the good news is the road is everywhere. It is in your morning, your commute, your lunch break, your kitchen, your phone. The road is already there. You just need to start driving. Let's talk about something called shadowing. Because if you only take one thing from today, I want it to be this. Shadowing is the practice of listening to spoken English and repeating what you hear, at the same time or just a second behind. Like an echo. You copy the sounds, the rhythm, the speed, the rise and fall of the voice. You are not translating. You are not analyzing grammar. You are just matching. Like a musician learning a new song by playing along with the recording. Let me show you exactly how it feels. I will say a sentence. You say it after me. Out loud. Don't whisper. Use your real voice. Ready? Every day my English gets a little better. Say it. Every day my English gets a little better. Good. Now this one. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep going. Say it. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep going. One more. Small steps every day lead to big changes over time. Say it. Small steps every day lead to big changes over time. Did you feel that? That is shadowing. And it works for a very specific reason. Your mouth has muscles, just like your arms or your legs. And those muscles need to be trained to make English sounds. Not just understood in your brain, but physically made by your tongue, your lips, your jaw. When you shadow, you are doing a physical workout for your speaking. Every repetition builds a little more muscle memory. Every repetition makes the sound slightly more familiar, slightly more natural. 5 minutes of shadowing a day is worth more than an hour of silent reading, because speaking is a physical skill, and physical skills require physical practice. So use this lesson. Every example sentence I give you, say it after me. Treat this as your daily training. Now let's talk about the real challenge most learners face. Not grammar, not vocabulary, not pronunciation, time, or more accurately, the feeling that there is no time. You wake up, you get ready, you go to work or school, you come home tired, you eat, you maybe have an hour to yourself before you need to sleep. And in that hour, the last thing you want to do is sit down and study. I understand that completely. But here is what I want you to see differently. You don't need to find more time for English. You need to use the time you already have, but use it smarter. Let me show you what I mean. Think about your morning. You wake up. Maybe you make coffee or tea. Maybe you shower. Maybe you eat breakfast. Maybe you commute to work. How much of that time is completely silent? Or spent scrolling on your phone? That time is gold. Start with this one small habit. While you are doing something with your hands, whether it is washing your face, making breakfast, walking to the bus, put on something in English. Podcast. A short video. An English lesson. Even a song you like. Not to study it intensely. Just to hear it. Let English sounds enter your ears every morning before anything else. Say this after me. I listen to English every morning. It is part of my routine. Now here is why this matters more than it seems. Language lives in your ears before it lives in your mouth. Every hour you spend listening to natural English is teaching your brain what the language sounds like, the rhythm of it, the music of it, how words connect and flow together. You are not going to understand everything. That is completely fine. You do not need to understand everything. You just need to hear it. Regularly. Consistently. Every day. 10 minutes in the morning. That is all. 10 minutes a day for 1 year is over 60 hours of English input. 60 hours you would have otherwise spent in silence. That is not a small thing. That is a transformation. Now let's talk about the part of the day that most people waste without knowing it. The in-between time. The 3 minutes waiting for your coffee to brew. The 5 minutes on the elevator. The 10 minutes waiting for a meeting to start. The 12 minutes on the bus. Add those up across a whole day. You might have 30, 40, even 50 minutes of small gaps that you currently use to scroll through your phone or just stare into space. What if even half of that time was English practice? Here is what I want you to try. I call it the one-sentence habit. During any small moment of waiting, say one sentence out loud in English. Or quietly to yourself if you are in public. Just one sentence about what is happening right now. It is a sunny morning. My coffee is too hot. I am waiting for the bus. The office is quiet today. I am feeling a little tired. Say this after me. I can practice English anywhere. Even in small moments. Say it again. I can practice English anywhere. Even in small moments. This habit might feel almost too simple. But it does something very powerful. It teaches your brain to access English automatically, without first going through your native language. That is what fluency actually is. Not knowing more words. It is accessing the words you already know without a delay. And this habit builds that reflex. One small sentence at a time. Let's talk about something a little more personal. Your inner voice. Right now, as you go through your day, what language do you think in? For most learners, the answer is their native language. You experience something, you think about it in your first language, and then when you need to speak in English, you translate. And that translation step, that is the thing that creates the pause, the delay, the moment where your mouth goes quiet while your brain is working. So here is one of the most important habits you can build. Start thinking in English. Not all the time. Not perfectly. Just a little. Just sometimes. When you look out the window in the morning, instead of thinking a thought in your native language, try to think it in English. It is cold outside. The traffic looks bad today. I hope my meeting finishes early. Simple observations. Short thoughts. Say this after me. I can think simple thoughts in English every day. At first it will feel awkward. A little slow. Like writing with your non-dominant hand. That is completely normal. You are building a new neural pathway. New pathways always feel uncomfortable at first. But with practice, those pathways get stronger. The thoughts start to come in English more naturally. And when your thinking is in English, your speaking follows much more easily. Start with just 5 English thoughts a day. That is your target. 5 small observations in English. You can do that. I know you can. Here is a habit that sounds so simple it is almost embarrassing to mention. But it works. Read out loud. Every day, find something in English. A paragraph from an article. Page from a book. A few lines from a script or a dialogue. It does not need to be long. Read it out loud. Not whispering. Not mumbling. Out loud with a real voice. Read it once slowly. Then read it again a little faster. Then read it one more time like you are telling someone a story. Say this after me. Reading out loud trains my mouth to speak English more naturally. This works because it forces the gap between your brain and your mouth to close. When you read silently, only your eyes and your brain are working. When you read out loud, everything is working together. Your eyes, your brain, your breath, your tongue, your lips. It is a full-body English workout. And there is another benefit. Your own voice becomes less strange to you. Many learners feel uncomfortable hearing themselves speak English. Reading aloud every day fixes that. Your voice in English becomes familiar. And when your voice feels familiar, you feel more confident. Now let me talk about something that changed how I see language learning completely. One evening I was watching a video in English. A short interview. Maybe 4 minutes long. And I noticed something. The person speaking had an accent. Not a British accent. Not an American accent. Something else. Something I could not immediately identify. And I realized I did not care at all. Their accent was completely irrelevant to me. I was too busy listening to what they were saying. Their ideas. Their energy. Their honesty. That moment stuck with me. Because so many learners I have worked with are carrying around so much worry about their accent. They think my pronunciation is not good enough. People will judge me. I sound foreign. I should speak more like a native speaker. And I want to say something very clearly to you right now. Your accent is not a mistake. Your accent is your signature. Tells a story. The story of where you came from. The languages you grew up with. The journey you have taken to get here. Every person in the world who speaks more than one language has an accent in their second language. Every single one. Including me. Including every language teacher you have ever admired. The goal is not to erase your accent. The goal is to speak clearly enough that people can understand your ideas. Say this after me. My accent is part of who I am. Clarity matters more than perfection. Say it again. My accent is part of who I am. Clarity matters more than perfection. When you let go of the need to sound like someone else, something relaxes. Your voice opens up. You take more risks. You speak more. And the more you speak, the better you get. That is the path. Let me give you one habit that takes exactly 1 minute a day and has an outsized impact. Every evening before you sleep, take your phone and record a 1-minute voice message. Just for yourself. Talk about your day. What happened? What you thought? What you felt? What you are looking forward to tomorrow. Do not script it. Do not prepare it. Just press record and talk. Say this after me. I will record 1 minute of English every evening. I will listen back and learn from myself. The first recording will probably feel uncomfortable. Your voice will sound strange to you. You will hesitate. You will restart sentences. You will say more than you want to. That is okay. That is the starting point. Not the failure point. The starting point. Listen back to it. Not to judge yourself harshly, but to notice. Where did you hesitate? Which word did you reach for and couldn't find? Where did you feel most natural? That information is incredibly valuable. You are becoming your own teacher. After a week, listen to day 1 again. Then listen to day 7. You will hear a difference. Promise you that. After just 1 week of 1 minute a day, you will hear a difference. And that difference will motivate you more than any lesson ever could. Let me now bring together everything we have talked about into a simple daily practice. Morning. While you get ready, while you make breakfast, while you commute. Listen to something in English. 10 minutes. Just let it flow into your ears. During the day. During small waiting moments, say 1 English sentence about what is happening around you. 5 simple thoughts in English. Train your inner voice. Anytime. When you have a few minutes and something to read, read it out loud. Even 3 or 4 sentences. Make your mouth work. Evening. Record 1 minute of yourself speaking English. Listen back with curiosity, not judgment. That is the whole plan. It is not complicated. It does not require special tools or expensive apps or hours of free time. It requires consistency. And it requires you to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start using the imperfect moments you already have. Say this after me. I don't need perfect conditions. I just need to start. Say it one more time. I don't need perfect conditions. I just need to start. I want to say one more thing before we close. And I want you to really hear this. Learning a language as an adult is one of the hardest things a person can do. Not because adults are less intelligent. Research actually shows adults are highly effective language learners when they use the right methods. But because adults have fear that children don't have. Fear of sounding silly. Fear of making mistakes in front of others. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of starting over. And that fear can quietly shut everything down if you let it. So I want you to make a small agreement with yourself today. Not a big dramatic promise. Just a small quiet agreement. For the next 7 days, I will practice English every day. Not perfectly. Not for hours. Just a little. Every day. 7 days. That is all I am asking. 7 days of small habits will show you something that no book and no lesson can show you. They will show you that you are actually capable of this. Not one day, not someday, but right now with the English you have today in the life you are already living. That is where your fluency begins. Not in a classroom. Not in a perfect future version of your life. Here. Now. Today. This is QLeap English. And we are with you every step of the way. Now go practice. We will see you in the next lesson.